However, we cannot do that kasi nga we are far behind with our discussions and our coverage also. So, mas maayo nga ano na lang siguro. We will take the examination na by Thursday. So, sa Thursday na gid na siya. And then by Friday, maybe we could have our discussion or class para dili masayang ang ato ang adlaw. So, discuss na lang taan ng adlaw. I guess that's it. So, mura man siguro na ato mga buhaton, no? Maybe we will just have a short review with what we have done the last week. I think we already had a short introduction, no, with sorry with this. We had a short introduction with what do you call this one? The points, lines, rays, and segments. So, mao naman ni siya daan. However, we were unable to really explain it well for the reason na muratag nagdali ato nga time manggod kasi almost time na siya and I wasn't able to really explain this thoroughly. So, I will just grab this opportunity, no, to go back with the discussions that we had with regards to points, lines, rays, and segments. So, after this discussion, we will go over also with the rest of the topics that is included on the coverage. And then the last maybe is we will go with the Pythagorean and then the diameter, the radii, mga radius, mga ingana na ta. So, or probably we cannot do that one anymore. Kung asa lang yun tataman, dito na lang yun punta. Okay? Sige. So, let's have points, lines, rays, and segments. We already know this one. This is already the point, no? This is the point. And then this is the line. So, this is called as a line because it goes infinitely on both sides. That's the reason you have here an arrow and you have here an arrow because the sense of lines actually is extending infinitely on both sides. So mo ginaiyahang iyang purpose. Okay. And the next one we have here, this is an example of a segment. Kani siyang ikaduha, this is ikatulo, this is the segment. So, segment also is just, it's not the same with the line, but it is part of the line. So, something like that. Pero, we will be having like a specific discussion with that one as well. And the last one is the ray. So, mamani siya ang ray, no, kani siya. There is one point that exceeds or goes infinitely or in either direction. So, yung ana siya. Let's start with the points first. So, mana naman taani, no? We are done with this. So, you have here point A, point B, and point C. So, we have 3 points. So, particularly, we can identify the points whenever we see a point like this because this one identifies that there is really a point. So, in this particular example, you have 3 points here which names point A, point B, and point C. So, sayo na raoy. When we go with the lines now, just like what I have said, lines can either have many points, but what you are going to identify is the end points or the mga end points niya. Like for example, in this case, we have here a point L and point B. So, we could know na ito siya is an example of a line because you have seen na naa kay ginani ang ginani. Because the essence of the line itself is ang iyahang yung purpose sa lines ana is endless ang iyahang isig ka opposite sides. In short, it goes endless to the right and it goes endless to the left. Lines itself cannot be really determined kung asa siya mohunong kasi nga endless siya. Infinite ang iyahang pag-extend. So, nag-extend pa siya going to the right and it also extends going to the left. So, it is endless. The same thing also with L and B. So, that's the reason when you write their names, you will say line L, B, or line B, L. The same thing with this one also, kani. So, you can have line LB or line BL. You can interchange, either you start with B or you start with L. You can interchange them kasi no matter where you go, the same lang man gihapon sila asa sila paingon. So kung B2, B and L and B same man gihapon kasi they have still the same direction. They have direction to the right and direction to the left. So therefore, you can either name them LB or BL. So ana naman siya ang sa lines. Now let's go to the segments. Segments are different to lines. If lines are extending infinitely on both sides, si segments naman is naa siya endpoint, in which each of the point is already an endpoint. In short, ma-measure ni mo siya. Kasi kaning linyahan na this line is mauni ang iyahang start, mao pud ni iyahang end. Or mao ni iyahang start, mao ni pud ni iyahang end. So in short, endpoints gid siya. So from point L to point M. If we are going to compare this one, mura na gud gikan sa UM Mabini, do Gmall. O gikan sa Gmall, dulong og UM Mabini. Endpoint to endpoint, point to point gyud di segment. Same with the K and A. So wala siya tong arrow nga ana, no? Wala. Kasi if you see this kind of arrow, it only means to say that it goes infinite or endless. Pero wala man siya ana, so therefore it has an end. So na siya end, endpoint to endpoint. That is what we call as the segment. So that's the reason if we are going to name this one, this will be segment L, M, or segment M, L. This one also we have segment KA and we have segment AK. So whether you start with A or the K, whether your answer is KA or AK, pasabot ana isa ra na kalinya oy. Dili na siya pasabot nga, ma'am nga akong answer ma'am kay KA, unya AK, 2 points na ba ko? Dili, isa ra gid na siya ka point kasi it's only the naming one line only. So in short, pwede na to siya ma-interchange. Ma-interchange in the sense nga parehas man sila nga end points. So pwede man nga LM, pwede po gikan sa M padulong sa L. So ana lang iyang sense now for the segments. Okay, next. Let's have the ray. Si ray is lahi pod si ray. You try to imagine a sun. So for example, we have here a sun. So syempre no si sun na to is mag-release may gina siya og mga rays of sunshine. Kana, mga rays of sunshine. So that's the reason no it is called a ray. It's called a ray because there is an endpoint and there is an infinite side. So in this example, we have B and A, and then we have O and K. Now, if we are going to name them, you will say ray B, A. Question is, can we name the ray AB? Pwede ba nato na siya AAB?
Dili, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
dili. Dili kasi kaning A manggod is infinite manggod siya. So dapat yun B and A yun siya. So you start here from an endpoint and then going to the infinite side which is the A. So it should be ray BA. Dili siya pwede mag ray AB. The same thing with this one. You have the O and the K. So supposedly this should be named ray KO. So even if the arrangement is like this na naka-okay siya pero sa ngalan nga ang O kay extending pa ni siya, idi wa jud kay mahimo mauna gid na ang K unya ang O gid na ang mosunod. So ana lang na ang iyang storya diraa. Okay, so I guess this is clear. We have the ray, we have the segments, we have the lines, and then the points. Okay, let's try to answer this one. We have here an example. We have how many lines here? How many lines do we see?
3 po, ma'am.
3, ma'am.
Okay, we have 3 lines. So, unsa ang first line? We have the line Line unsa?
PO.
Okay, line PO or line OP. Next, we have the line LV or line VL. Sunod, pa ba? Line AQ or line QA. So, whether you answer PO or OP, mora na istorya ha, isa ra gihapon na siya. Kasi isa man nakalay na to ang gihisgutan diha. Next, let's try to identify the segment. Asa ang segment dira? Asang segment diha? Pangita ang segment.
DM.
Okay, we have DM.
Ay.
Sige. You have BM. Pwede po ni siya, no? You have
BM.
BM. You also have DM. Pwede po na siya baliktaron, ha? Or MB. Bali-bali na siya. MD. Huwag na pa, Jude. BD. Or DP. Next, let's have the ray. We have ray. We have, unsa man ray MO. You also have ray. Asa pa?
BB. Pabaliktad ba?
BA. Okay, sige, unsa pa? We have ML. Ito, ML, oh.
BQ.
Okay, we have BQ.
MV.
BQ, and then MV.
PB. Ay, BP din mabaliktad.
BP. Okay, we have BP. Okay, sige. Tama na ba? We have ML, MO, MV, and then we have the BA, BQ, and then BP. Yan.
DB, ay DP, ma'am?
DP,
Pwede ba, ma'am?
DP. Okay, you can also
DP.
have DP. Pwede po siya DP, no? Kasi what if diri gid siya magsugod? Okay,
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
have DP.
Pwede DO.
You have DP, and then you also have DO. Kana. Pwede po BA. Wala na. Murag-mura na siya. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, that is how you name the rays, the lines, the segments, and the points. So, ang points, ani kay, mura man gyapon point P, point B, point Q. Pila man itanan? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 points here. So, if ever gani, kay naimangutan na, what if your lines are not names? Naman po cases manggod ba nga? Kaning mga lines ninyo, ang pangalan aning line na is line H. Kaning nga line is line L. Kani siya nga line is line M. So, mingon dayon nga, which line contains the point M? So, syempre, imong i-answer is line L. Kasi ang kani nga line is, ang pangalan man ani niya is L. So, namoy cases ngayong ana, nga pangalan na niya ang line. But most of the time, wala gyud niya pangalan pod. Tagsara pod na mahitabo nga pangalan niya. So, syempre, imo itubag is line LV. So, ana or line VL. So, that is how you do it. So, it's just so easy. Sige, let's move on. Dili na pod tabi. Tapos ako sa Edmt gabi. Magkatubon ko nga, wak kasabot sa kong kagaling. Asa naman to eh? Tara di eh. Okay, sige. So let's go now the continuation. We have here we have two symbols here in which we have to name. So we have here an example of an angle and we also have here an example of a triangle. Okay. So a plane can be named by 3 points of a plane provided that the 3 points must not lie along the same line called non-collinear points. If otherwise, they are called collinear points. For example, if we have here, ino ng collinear o collinear, kanina lang atong tanawon, no? We have here an example of angle BAC and we have here a triangle. So let's try to see what is really the difference between the two. Okay, let me just draw something. Okay. Ayun yung black beak o red beak eh. Maot. Okay, and then this one. Okay, bahala na nahiwi dira. Amo na bahalag sabot ana. Ikapoy no kung drawing. Nisod kaya siya mag-drawing mahiwi. Sige. Alright. This would be the graphic no na nakita na to dito sa nakita na to dito sa scene. So let's try to see the difference between the two. Sige daw. Okay, this would be A, this is B, and we have here C. This one, we have A again, we have B, and we have C. So, of course, I have already named this one. Kani siyang nadiri sa ibabaw, the first example, the first drawing is an example of an angle. This one is already a triangle. Now, my question is, what is the difference of an angle and the triangle? Aside from the physical appearance, of course. Sige daw. Sige. Sa diferensya sa ilang duha. What's the difference here? Let's try to name this one. What is the name of this angle pala? Kanang angle na to dra pinakauna. Example number 1. What is the name of that? What's the name of this angle? This is angle. Mane. Kasi pangalan niya, uy, grabe po.
Right angle,
Angle. Oh, yes, this is an example of a right angle. Pero what is the name of the angle? This is angle
ABC.
Okay, angle ABC. Okay, good. ABC or angle B. No, wrong. Angle C, B, and A. Okay. So, I think we have noticed here that when we name this angle, we have only one vertex. Diba ang tawag anak niya is vertex? Pero pag mag-name ka sa isa ka-angle magod, you have to make sure that the vertex should be the midpoint or the middle point of the angle because the vertex itself actually determines the intersection or kung asa sila nag-abot sa rays. Diba, we have already first ray here is B and C and then B and A. So, for you to be able to another form of naming also the angle is by naming the vertex. So, if you don't like to, kung di ka ganahan anang magsulat kag ABC or CBA, pwede ro pod ayo paglabad sa kagulingon, angle B. Ana ra. So, those are just the 3 names that we could have for the angle. We only have one angle here. Isa ra na atong angle liha. Isa lang atong angle. Dara, mo niya atong angle, Isa lang ang atoang angle. Now, in the triangle, why is it called a triangle pala? Kay?
tulo man yung angle, ma'am.
Ikatulo.
Ay, tulo man iyahang angle. So, aside from 3 sides siya, tulo man po ang iyang angle. So, unsa man to pagpangita iyang angle karon? Dara iyang angles. Dara. First angle, second angle. You also have the third angle. So that's the reason if we are going to name the triangle, you will say this is triangle ABC, triangle ABC, ABC. You also have CBA. Sunod, you could have BCA or ACB. Sunod. Kung sa pa may wala na ko napatunga, ang A na lang. Sige, VAC and then CAB. So in short, you can have 4, 5, 6 names for this triangle if we have already the points in each of the angles. Kasi nga, mo times 3 man po. 4, 5, 6 or times Adobe, wait lang. Haba ba ko ilain na biyaan? Wala naman siguro, no? Tama na. Tama naman siguro. So, daghang kag pangalan ani kasi nga dili man siya angle. It's a triangle. So, you can have a vertex of A. You can name this triangle according to the vertex. So, you can have a name for this triangle as triangle A or triangle B or triangle C. So, in short, daghan siya og names for a particular triangle only. It only means to say that we are very particular with our angles. The same thing with other angles also. Let's try a square. Butang ta, we are having a square. Uy, hiwi ba sa square? Balik, 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 balik. Okay. So say for example, we have a square. So klaro na kayo ni sa tibi-tibi in that we have 4 angles. So atong angle nga number 1 dara kana ug kana. So natay ginatawag day, careful ko day no kasi naamo ko tay ginatawag nga interior angles and exterior angles. Kung mayong tag interior angles, we are talking about sa sulod. So, nana siya dira. Ang exterior angles nato is naa sa gawas. Pero we will be focusing on the interior angles here. So, since you already have a square here, so let's try to say if this is A, B, C, and D, daghan na pud ka og ma-name for the square, no? Pero what we are trying to focus here is the vertices or the angles, of which this is also determined. This is 90. Diba? Kani is 90 po. Kasi square man eh. 90. And this one is also 90. That's the reason if you will go here, you have here a list of angles inside a regular polygon. So for example, for a triangle, you have here a triangle has 3 sides and then the shape is like this. Given that if a triangle is equilateral, anang the same sides lang siya or same angles lang siya, it's equal on all the sides, then you have a 60-degree angle. So in short, di ba we already know nga ang total interior angle ng triangle ay 180. Mo na siya nga 60 na siya diya. Kasi ang iyang pasabot ana manggod is ani manggod siya Assuming that this is a equilateral triangle. So ang iyang assumption ani manggod is kani daw kuno diri is 60, this one also is 60 and 60. Do not forget the degree pala. So ang total interior angle niya is 180 degrees. So times 3. You have here 3 sides. Given that if a triangle is equal or equilateral. Ana siya. So let's have another one. Sa patuna dito. You have here a square. So in short, pila karon ang total interior angle sa square? Pila? Total angle sa square. Multiply ra na ninyo sa sides.
360 po.
Okay, we have
360, ma'am.
360. Okay. Same with the pentagon, 108 times 5, that is 108 times 5, pentagon.
540, ma'am.
Okay. So, si pentagon, in each angle, naa siya'y 108 degrees. Ang total na IA niya is 500, pila to? 540 degrees. Okay. Butang ta, we will be having a pentagon. Let's draw a pentagon. Mura ra nagbalay ang pentagon, pero sa una, mag-struggle, jud kong drawing ani. Hate kay nako ni mga drawing ani mga ani, eh. Piatos-piatos man ata ni mo siguro ni si piatos o ay dili di ay kato ditong isa. Okay. Assuming na lang na kay Ginoo ko kalisod nag-drawing. So let's have here a pentagon. So this is an example of a pentagon. Since we already know that the angle for a pentagon is 108, it has 5 sides, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in short, kani siya diri this is 108. Kana na po dira 108 degrees. Kini is 108 degrees. Kini is 108 degrees and 108 degrees. All in all, ang sulod kay 540 degrees. And that is now the pentagon. That is also applicable to the other polygons. So, napaman kay mga polygons na decagon, hendecagon, dodecagon. So, kailangan yun na ninyo memoryahon ang iyahang angles. So, angles as well as pila kabuk ang iyahang sides so that you will know pila ang naa sa sulod anang polygona. Okay? Now, since we already have the polygons, my question is, how many degrees are there in a straight line? Sige, pila man naka-degree ang isa ka straight line? We have how many? Wala mo kabalo? Pila? Wala mo kabalo, people? Ani? Sige daw, you try.
180 po.
Okay, good. So that is 180 degrees. In short, one straight line is equivalent to 180 degrees. What is the basis for this? Remember that we have different kinds of lines, right? We have the straight line, like for example in this one, we also have the parallel lines, the parallel. We also have the perpendicular, ay intersecting pala. So, intersecting. Nana siya dito. Okay, intersecting. And we also have the perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are easily identified for the reason that, kapaot pagka-drawing, for the reason that perpendicular lines always form 90 degrees when they cross with each other. So, for example, this is a perpendicular line. It is called as perpendicular line because naagid siya 90 degrees. So in short, if 90 degrees ni ang diri sa right side, malamang ang pikas pud ani is 90 degrees, and that's one of the reasons why the straight line is 180. Kasi if you are going now to calculate from here to here, that is actually 180 degrees, and that is now the straight line. That's the reason if we are going to identify angles, for example, we have here an angle ha. Let me just draw an example of an angle. What if karon you have an angle that is forming like this? Okay. Oh, you have here an angle nga iyang forma is ginani. Karon, ang iyaha daw ang sukod daw niya diri sa iyahang kilo, this is, this is 65 degree. Ang akong pangutana, pila man ni karon ang naa diri? Pila man na ron? Sige daw. Kung 65 degree ning naa diri kanina sa sulod nga vertex, ang pangutana, ang kanang nasa gawas, pila man na ron? Sige, pila man? Hello, hey, mara answer? Wala, Jude?
115.
115. Sige daw. 115 degrees. Nga naman, kay i-minus lang nimo sa 65 ang 180. And that's the reason, ang atong answer is 115. In short, 115 ni diri sa right side, 65 ni dito sa left side. So, we will be discussing also that on the discussion on the complementary and the supplementary angle. So, atulan na siyang fokusan dito kay dito na nato na siya mahibalan hangtod sa maabot ta og 360. Okay, sige daw ha. Let's try this one. Kaning pentagon karon. Kani si pentagon nato is 108 degrees man na siya, no? So, let's try to get kani. Ato ning kwaon nga angle, ha? Ako na siyang drawing on. Okay, let's try. Okay. Na. Butang ta, this is now a part of a pentagon. A pentagon, unya, kani daw diri is 108 degrees. Question is, pila nang nasa gawas, the exterior. Pila man na?
72, ma'am.
We have 72. Okay, that is correct. What if ginani na ang nahitabo? You have here a straight line and then nihigda na siya dira. Tapos kani siya is ang iyahan na aning measure is already 200. Ang pangutana unsa na siya diha? Pila na siya diha? Sige daw, pila naman na dira? Ilampas na siya 180, oh. Pila naman na? Sige daw. Kung 180 ang straight line, pila naman na siya. What if ginana na ang nahitabo sa imong angle, you already have a 200. 200 na daw ni diri adapita. Kana 200 na daw na. Ang pangutana kanang nadira sa ilalom sa ubos, pila man na? So what you're going to do now is to subtract 200 into 360. Kasi di ba sa straight line na to going back, if we have 180 above, you also have 180 below, and that makes a total of 360. So isubtract nimo 360 minus 200, pila man na? We have 160. Okay. In short, kani siya is 160 degrees. So ana ra na siya ang iyahang analysis ana. Sige lang, atulan na siyang balikon pag maabot na punta sa complementary and the supplementary. At least you have the idea no nga ana day na siya. So namong tay mga basta you just remember that a straight line is 180 degrees gina siya. All in all. But there are times nga mahimo siyang 360, especially if the situation is the same like this. Kana siya. So, there are cases nga magin-ani gyud na siya, no? It depends, especially if you're already given. Given na siya ang angle sa inyo, ha? Tapos kamo na ang mo arrange. Okay, let's go back. Okay, this is it, the triangle, the square, the pentagon. You have here special quadrilaterals, no? You have the parallelogram. Ang parallelogram, they are opposite sides but equal and parallel. Parallel lines are two lines that do not intersect. Whether they extend in whatever direction, they do not intersect with each other. So, mga parallels na to. Kaya nga gitawag siyang parallelogram kasi na ay parallel sa ibabaw and also on the same thing with the rectangle, the square, and the rhombus. However, for the trapezoid, wala na, dili na ni siya parallel kasi na ay point na nga mag-abot na yun sila dito sa tumoy. You have also here 90 degrees for the rectangle and the square as well as the rhombus. 90 degrees gihapon ni sila kaso nakaslant lang. And for the kite also, sa kite, we have a right angle. Diagonals intersect at right angle. So diagonals. Okay. One diagonal bisects the other and one pair of opposite sides are equal. So meaning to say, if we are going to divide the kite, you can have a 90 degree. So ana siya iyang pasabot diha. Okay, sige, kamo na lang ana no, special quadrilaterals. For kinds of triangle, we have the equilateral triangle. You already have here no a kind of indication na equal siya kasi na siya murag kuwit-kuwit. It only means to say that the three sides are equal or the angles are equal. Isosceles naman has two equal sides only on both the opposite sides. And for the scalene, wala na gyud siya equal sides. That's for scalene. Okay. We also have the acute for the triangle. Another one is the acute angled. All the angles are less than 90, that is acute. 45, 65, 80, less than 90, acute. Right angle exact is 90. Obtuse triangle or obtuse triangle is greater than 90. So say for example 91, 92, 93, that is already obtuse. Or obtuse, may tawag anak mo say basa anak niya basta obtuse mo na. So pag lesser than 90, that's acute. Pag 90 exact, that is right. Pag obtuse gani is greater than 90. So 90, 95, 100, 183, sa 300 something, 1 million, sa greater than 90. Mo na to siya. Pero wala yung 1 million nga angle ha. Imposible po kayo. Wala na na. Mga ano ra na siya. Mga less than 360. Or kuan. Mga 100 something. Ano ra siya. Okay. Sige. So let's go now to the Pythagorean Theorem. I think we already have time pa man pod. So let's have the Pythagorean na lang para dili masayang ato ang time pod. Okay, sige, para natay basis. Let's go to Pythagorean. Or Pythagorean, so basa na niya. We have the Pythagorean or Pythagorean Theorem. Okay. Let's have a drawing. Okay, we have here an example. Most of the time, it is really a triangle. Triangle talaga yan siya, ang Pythagorean theorem. Actually, ang ato among gina-measure mong diri is the kaniiyahang the base, the height, and of course no the sides. But of course, we have to remember also that we have a formula in identifying the answer for this. So for example, let's try. We have here A. This is the A, this is the B, and this is the C, and this will be our vertex. So ang sa man siya, asa man ang hypotenuse diri daw be? Asa man natong hypotenuse diri
C, ma'am.
Okay, we have the C. So the C here is the longest side. The longest side of which the hypotenuse. Okay. Hypotenuse. So, ang atong pangitaong manggudani diriya is the letter C or the hypotenuse. Meaning to say, ang atong tanawon is kana dira dapita. So, kana ang atong pangitaon diha karon, kana siya. Kana dira. So, that's the, the hypotenuse. So, that would be our target. So, we already know here what is the formula. So, our formula is C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So, ano lang siya ka-simple. So, for example, you have here, let's try if A is 6, B is 8, so what is now the C? So, ano lang na siya, no? Ato lang na siyang i-substitute. So, say for example, you have here C squared equals ang A is 6 raised to the power of 2 plus you have here 8 raised to the power of 2. Sige. Ila man yung 6 raised to the power of 2? This is 36 man siguro, no? This is 36 plus, ila man 8. So, this will be 64. Ana. You also have here the C squared. Now, in order for us to remove the squared sign, okay. Ay, wala pa 36 plus 64, that is, pila man this is 100. 100 ba? Sige daw. Okay, we have 100. You have the C squared. So, for us to be able to get the answer, so we have to, unsa man ni siya, i-enclose og katong, unsa man to siya, kani. So, in short, we have here C equals pila man?
10, ma'am.
Okay, we have 10. So, in short, our C here is 10. Square root man siguro tawagan na. Yes, square root. So, ana lang siya. Okay. Tara. So, C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So, if the missing is C, wala na din na to siya na kay ni diretso naman data og solve. So, that's the reason wala na kay na to siya na klaro ang ato ang formula, no? So, if ever the missing is the hypotenuse, your formula should be C equals A squared plus B squared. And that would be kana. If ang missing is the leg, you can have this one, that's A, and then C squared plus B squared. Next, if ang missing kay ang letter B, this would be the formula. C squared minus A squared. Giderive lang na nga mga formulas. So, ana siya. Sige daw. Let's try another example. Okay, we have kana, and kana. Okay, kana. Sige. So, we have here the 12. Okay, if this would be our angle, and then we have the 12. We have the 13, 30 or 15 ba ni? 13. Yeah, 13. And then, kani ang na missing. So, therefore, naatay one leg nga na missing. And that leg is the letter A. So, ang letter A na to is na missing. Okay, so if this would be the case, then we will have the kani siya nga formula. So, let's have A or the Y equals, we have the C squared, that is 13. And then raised to the power of 2 plus 12 raised to the power of 2. Pila man yung 13 raised to the power of 2. Pila na siya?
169 po.
169 po, ma'am.
Plus, tapos 12 times 12.
144, ma'am.
144 po.
Okay, 144. Okay. So, that's it. 169 plus 144, that is 313. Sige. Tapos, next. Sige daw, be, let's try to evaluate daw, be, nga nung natingala ko, kung kita na ito ang answer, lahi rigid siya diri sa example. Nanawa siya. We have here our right angle. So, naraman na tong right angle. So, ang na-missing na to diri is, we have the A. Diba? Kasi ang opposite ni A, ang opposite ni A is the B. So, therefore, this should be A and B. And we are going now to get the formulas of letter A. So, A, wala. Bakit ganun nga y equals 5 siya? Nalibog ko. You try to analyze now. Tanawa.
Gi-transpose niya, ma'am, ang 144 po sa pikas nga side, ma'am.
Okay, dara. So, iyahang gi-transpose ang 144 sa pikas side. Ano naman ang 12? Uy, di ba siya ang B? Let's try daw, ha? Ibug lagi iyang gibuhat diri. Daraman ang iyahang daraman mao man ni siya ang 90 degree. This is the 90. So, syempre, if this would be the A, tara ang B, mao ni siya ang C. So, our missing is letter A. So, therefore, all we have to follow is the katong iyahang formula nga A. That's A equals C squared plus B squared. And this one, 169 plus 144. So, ang iha diri, it seems that ang iyang gibuhat is iyang gi-minus. Tama ba? Murag iyang gi-minus ang iyang gibuhat diri. So, therefore, if square root of 313 is delayed man jud ni siya 5. Pero what happened? Sige daw, let's try to analyze this one. Kanina itong tanawon. Okay, we have 12, 13, and y. So, y squared, and then y squared. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Manunta na siya. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So, mauni iyang gibuhat o dara o. So, if kani iyang gi-follow, so for example, we have 13 kana, tapos ang A na to diri nga na missing, A is the Y man to, no? That's the Y. Y2 plus ang B nga 12. So, that's 12 and 2. If kani iyang gi-follow ha, kani C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So, let's try. If 13 and 2, this will become 169 equals, ang Y2 remain plus 12 and 2, we have 144. So, ang iyang gibuhat is iyahang unsa man ni siya, iyang gi-transfer dira. So, we have here y squared, negative na siya dira. So, this will become 144 minus 169. So, mahimo siyang negative, pila man, negative 25. Tapos, negative y squared na siya, divide both sa, si tawagan ni? eliminate negative sign. So, kani siyang negative diha karon, mahimik ni siyang y squared equals 25. To eliminate the exponent, you have to create now kani. So, this will become a 5. So, ginana siguro ang iyang gibuhat. Shortcut na siya. Pero, gibog. Okay. Sige na lang, balikon na lang nato ni siya pag na lang, on the next meeting na lang siya. Pero this is actually the idea. Kay kung wala ni niya gi-follow ning kani atong gibuhat diri nga kani, malamang ang iyang gi-follow is kani. Nga daghang taas kayo ang process ug kani ang iyang gi-stick nga formula. Kasi namgud siya gihatag diri nga formula gud o derived formulas nato nga kini. Pero let's try to see other examples para di kita ma-wrong aning ginani kasi sometimes manggod ba what makes it more confusing is that even if you know already the formula, there are cases manggod that derived formulas will give you another example, another answer. But actually the sense is just the same. So, for example, in this case, ang atoan na nakalibgan diriya is we come up with 313 of which supposedly it should be subtracted, in which the reason of nganong i-subtract. Nana siya. So, ato na lang yung balikon on the next meeting na lang po. Okay, basta yun, anaon na siya pag-solve. Okay, you just review this one and then we'll go back with on the next session. We will just continue Pythagorean on the next session kasi nalanganin na punta sa time.